Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were once one of Hollywood's brightest couples, successful, glamorous, and deeply committed to humanitarian causes. However, their most cherished shared projects have always been their 6 children: Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, Knox, and Vivienne. Although Jolie and Pitt began divorce proceedings in 2016, both have emphasized that they remain parents for life and will do everything possible to ensure their children's well-being. Below is a comprehensive look at each child's background, upbringing, and how they grew within a unique celebrity household influenced by global cultures as well as Hollywood. Maddox Chivan Jolie-Pitt was born on August 5, 2001 in Battambang, Cambodia, and spent several months in an orphanage before Angelina Jolie adopted him in 2002 at age 26. At the time, she was still married to Billy Bob Thornton, though she proceeded with the adoption independently. Shortly afterward, she raised Maddox on her own, and when Angelina began a relationship with Brad Pitt in 2005, Pitt filed to adopt Maddox as well, making him officially Maddox Chivan Jolie-Pitt. From a young age, Maddox displayed a curious and adventurous nature. Because his mother traveled frequently for both film and humanitarian work, he was exposed to different countries and cultures early on. By his mid-teens, he had already become involved in Angelina's philanthropic endeavors, serving as an executive producer on First They Killed My Father, a film based on the Cambodian genocide under the Khmer Rouge regime. Jolie wanted Maddox to learn about his homeland's history, however difficult, and develop a deeper sense of identity and belonging. In 2019, Maddox enrolled at Yonsei University in South Korea, studying biochemistry and taking Korean language courses. While he had to do some remote learning during the COVID-19 pandemic, he later returned to campus. Angelina described herself as incredibly proud of his academic achievements and passion for exploring the world. In April 2023, mother and son attended a White House state dinner for South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, reflecting their shared ties to the region. Later that year, Angelina revealed Maddox had obtained a pilot's license following her own love of flying. Reports suggest that once the relationship between Brad Pitt and some of the older kids became strained, Maddox stayed closer to Angelina. In July 2024, an insider noted that Pitt had minimal contact with his adult children. Maddox's strong bond with his mother continued, with both often traveling together for political and humanitarian events. Pax Thien Jolie-Pitt was born on November 29, 2003 in Vietnam and spent his earliest years in an orphanage near Ho Chi Minh City. In 2007, when Angelina visited the country with her eldest son Maddox, she felt that Pax belonged in their family. Due to specific Vietnamese adoption laws, she adopted Pax on her own, and Brad Pitt later formalized his own adoption in 2008, giving Pax the full surname Jolie-Pitt. At first, Pax had difficulty adjusting to life outside the orphanage, since he had rarely experienced personal freedom. Jolie described him as suddenly wild with excitement, running around and relishing his new home. He quickly bonded with siblings Maddox and Zahara, learned English, and discovered a sense of belonging in a large, diverse family. Over the years, Pax has maintained a relatively low profile, though he did lend his voice to Kung Fu Panda 3 and worked as a set photographer on First They Killed My Father. In 2022, Pax and Maddox joined Angelina in Italy to help with her film Without Blood as part of the assistant director department. Jolie praised their teamwork, saying it felt like one big family unit on set. In July 2024, Pax suffered injuries in an electric bike accident in busy Los Angeles traffic while not wearing a helmet. He sustained a head wound and hip pain, resulting in a hospital stay that included time in the ICU. Angelina was by his side, and after about a week, reports indicated he had left intensive care and was beginning a lengthy recovery process, supported by loved ones. Zahara Marley Jolie-Pitt was born on January 8, 2005 in Ethiopia. When Angelina and Maddox first visited the orphanage where Zahara lived, they discovered she needed medical care. Jolie proceeded with the adoption, and Zahara became the second child in the growing family. Soon after they returned to the United States, Zahara was hospitalized for a salmonella infection, but made a full recovery. Maddox took to calling her Z and treated her like a beloved new companion, carrying her around and showing her toys. As Zahara grew, she joined her parents and siblings on humanitarian and cultural trips worldwide, including a 2019 visit to her birth country. There, she and Angelina met with President Sahle-Work Zewde to discuss education, cultural heritage, and fighting drug-resistant tuberculosis. In that same period, Zahara launched her Zahara collection jewelry line with designer Robert Prokop, donating profits to shelters for women and children escaping domestic violence. In 2020, Jolie mentioned that Zahara had undergone multiple surgeries, though she did not provide details. Zahara convalesced at home during the pandemic, which moved her school classes online. The following year, Angelina described Zahara as an extraordinary African woman who cherishes her roots. In August 2022, Zahara enrolled at Spelman College, a historically Black institution in the U.S. Angelina famously got emotional while dropping her off on campus. Zahara pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority in November 2023. In 2023, mother and daughter traveled to Washington, D.C. to advocate for the Justice for All Reauthorization Act, meeting with senators to discuss how to protect victims' rights and address disparities in criminal justice. Zahara and Angelina also took other trips, including a low-key visit to New York. Observers say Zahara appears as passionate about activism as her mother, engaging in legal and social issues from her teenage years onward. Shiloh Nouvel Jolie was born on May 27, 2006 in Namibia, where Angelina and Brad took refuge to avoid paparazzi. A year later, Jolie noted that Shiloh's warm spirit and sense of humor reminded her of herself. Growing up, Shiloh felt more comfortable dressing like her brothers and asked to use male names at times, a preference the family supported. Angelina told reporters that forcing a child to conform to rigid expectations would be bad parenting. In her adolescence, Shiloh began devoting significant time to dance. She attended classes at the Millennium Dance Complex in Los Angeles, and viral videos of her performances showcased her strong musicality and flair for choreography. Though Shiloh has seldom addressed the media, glimpses of her dancing circulated widely online. In August 2024, reports emerged that she had legally dropped Pitt from her surname, adopting the name Shiloh Jolie. Brad was said to be deeply saddened by the move, as it underscored how he had lost closeness with several of the older children. Insiders suggested Shiloh felt it was a necessary step in shaping her own identity. Knox Léon Jolie-Pitt arrived on July 12, 2008, in Nice, France, just minutes before his fraternal twin sister Vivienne. Born at 5.3 pounds, his name derives from a Pitt family ancestor, Hal Knox Hillhouse. After the twins came home, Angelina and Brad described their household as chaos, but also noted how much the older siblings loved picking out clothes for the newborns. From a young age, Knox was said to share traits with Brad, both physically and emotionally. He stays mostly out of the spotlight, though he did lend his voice to Kung Fu Panda 3. In 2019, he, along with siblings, set up shop in an LA park selling homemade organic dog treats, a lighthearted entrepreneurial endeavor that briefly caught media attention. Vivienne Marcheline Jolie was born just a minute after Knox on July 12, 2008, weighing 5 pounds. Her middle name honors Angelina's mother, Marcheline Bertrand, who passed away in 2007. When magazines published the first photos of the twins, Angelina and Brad donated the immense proceeds to charity, reflecting their commitment to philanthropic work. In 2014, Vivienne appeared in Maleficent as the younger version of Princess Aurora, largely because she was unafraid of her mother's dark costume, a contrast to other child actors who were frightened. Jolie later joked that Vivienne impressed everyone by hitting her marks and memorizing lines like a seasoned professional. In August 2023, it emerged that Angelina was producing a Broadway adaptation of The Outsiders, and Vivienne would be her volunteer assistant. Jolie said Vivienne takes theater very seriously and reminded her of her late grandmother in terms of quiet dedication. When The Outsiders collected 4 Tony Awards in 2024, Vivienne was credited in the playbill as Vivienne Jolie, omitting Pitt. It remains unclear if she legally changed her last name or simply used a professional listing. Beyond these creative pursuits, Vivienne is still in school. She enjoys dancing and keeps pet rabbits at home. Angelina has joked that Vivienne is a meticulous planner who catches her mother's occasional oversights, illustrating how the youngest siblings have a say in day-to-day family matters. Even though Angelina and Brad have taken separate paths, their children's stories continue to inspire. From Maddox's global pursuits to Vivienne's budding passion for theater, they all shine in their own unique ways. If you'd like to hear more about Hollywood families, don't forget to like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a fascinating celebrity update.